Good morning. It is a Monday. Welcome back to the real world for many. Holiday break is over. I'm actually going to take some time this week, maybe just disconnect, go find some waves. Won't be doing this for 4 or 5 days. I'm just going to kind of, I'll be around the house, but I'm just going to get stuff done. Kind of disconnect sounds right. Kind of sounds good. But in the meantime, we've got weather to talk about for today and tomorrow. We've got a dense fog advisory along the coast and up in Marin County. You can see it here. It shows up in the dark gray areas. So dense fog advisory along the entire coast. So pretty dangerous situation in terms of shipping, because you don't really, there's fog. It's a valley fog or a coastal fog. It's a combination of both, and it's really dense. And so for the shipping industry, for folks who are taking boats in and out of the gate, it's hard to find the gate right now. I'm sure there's electronics, obviously, that will guide you. But if you're trying to eyeball the Golden Gate Bridge, it's hard to find because you're coming in out of pretty clear water into a lot of fog. Then there's a wind advisory that goes into effect for the next couple of days in the hills of the far North Bay and parts of the higher elevations of the East Bay and up around Lake Tahoe, and a small craft advisory offshore, and a winter wave advisory here in blue. Okay. So I'm making this kind of quick today because I got to run out of here. Here is the water vapor loop. It's a little early, so I can't really show you the visible satellite. But this is water vapor. Let's just count this as clouds. Here we are right here, right? And we're kind of in between everything. And that's where we stay for a while. I think that's the weather headline, if you will, besides the fog for today. Beautiful shot. But the weather headline is we've got no rain until around the 20th or 21st of January. That's a ways off. What's today? The 6th, right? So it's a couple weeks of dry or potentially dry weather. Sun coming up, I believe. I want to say that's Mount Diablo, but I almost think that's Mount Diablo. I think that's Mount Diablo there. And that's fog, a little bit of valley fog, a little bit of coastal fog. San Francisco off in the distance. Beautiful shot, though. You got to love that. If I was on TV, I'd say, if you're not looking at your TV, go look at your TV right now, because that's stunning. The city's shrouded in fog. It's going to burn off today, but it's going to be really a bit of a hassle first thing in the morning as you move around. Let's take a look at a quick fast forward. This is from Mount Tamalpais, and I'll do the last hour. And you can kind of see it's coming in from the coast, but you also see a little bit of the higher clouds wafting out. So there's a couple things going on. It's a pretty complex little pattern in that it's dry, but what's complex is that's advection fog. But I also see valley fog, and you've got a dense fog advisory. So it's very mixed up out there. Okay, so here is the GFS. Circle around us. Move through time rapidly because we know not much is going to happen in terms of rain. There is some wind. This is going to get you those Santa Anas potentially in Southern California. See the railroad ties right here? That area. When they get close together, when those lines get kinked like that and close together, that's your offshore wind event for us. That's where our wind advisories are coming from in the hills. And for Southern California, it's the same thing. It's just called the Santa Ana wind, offshore winds, Santa Ana winds, or Diablo winds. It's all the same thing. So as we push through, we're looking for the 20th for that first rain. So look, isn't that crazy? So we're going to have a lot of dry days. And that means, I talked to somebody in LA the other day, in San Diego, and they were like, hey, dude, we haven't had any rain. Our trees are dry. Things are starting to die. It's been a long time. 2% of rainfall average. And then let's see, here comes, okay, so here we start to show up. Now we're into, see how many days I just toggled through? January 17th, there's the 18th, and you can see that rotation. So something goes on around the 18th, and then more aggressive on the 20th, January 20th. Okay, so there's that model. This is the big model, actually accumulated rainfall. Circle around us. And how much rain comes when we get close. See, the rain stays to the north. You can see it filling in. All north, I mean, this has been the classic pattern. This is a La Nina year, which, kind of, I guess, dry south, wet north, it's about the same. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. I was trying to fit La Nina into this, but I'm not going to. So here you got the rain coming down everywhere but here, except Cape Mendocino. And then it starts to creep on us a little. And so it creeps on, that's January 18th. And then it comes in pretty light. Even Southern California gets an increase in moisture. And then this is, that looks better. That's around the 21st. Los Angeles gets maybe 0.09 if that goes well, 0.15, and then we're back up to an inch of rain. But again, you guys, that's over 15 days, and it all happens around the 20th or the 21st. So pretty dry conditions. Okay, there's what a dense fog advisory looks like. Wow. I could tell you that's Ocean Beach, but you just have to trust me. It's not really grabbing on either, but it's live, trust me. And then we go to Santa Cruz because there is no fog down there. The swell has dropped. I think the swell's 6 feet, 12 seconds. What's kind of cool, if you watch this long enough, there's a 6 feet, 12 second swell, but there's also a 3 feet, 21 seconds, which is really one of my favorite swells because it's out of the west-northwest, which is how, so right now the first swell's coming in and doing this thing, right? That they're coming in. But the west-northwest or the west-northwest swell is coming in more from here. And so it doesn't have to wrap as hard, and so it stays. It'll be a little bigger. This is probably it right here. It peaks up because it wraps in. It doesn't hit the point as hard and refract as hard. So sometimes it'll get you a nice big lump that clears to the inside of the reef. You guys know what I'm talking about if you surf, but if it can get through that little channel, get to the inside of the reef and unload, and it'll sometimes be bigger than the outside waves and run all the way down the point. Okay, so that's a quick one. I am going to take let's see, it says I'm going to probably be back on Friday, I think. I'll probably be back on Friday. So have a great back to work week. Sorry if you have to go back to work. I got a little time to go surf, and I am going to unplug for a little bit. Kids are around, that kind of a thing. Okay, we'll see you back here soon.